Welcome back to Rheminiscing, where I reflect on 4 decades of working with AI and knowledge systems, because understanding where we've been helps us make smarter decisions about where we're going. I'm Dr. Tony Rem, and since the late 80s, I've been on the front lines of AI development, from building expert systems at Fortune 1000 companies and government agencies to guiding these same agencies and organizations in AI strategy. We also help define responsible AI in this era of generative AI. I've written books on essential topics in artificial intelligence. I've contributed to AI ethics in many ways, from writing to being on ethics boards. Just part of my journey. This history lesson, not just from textbook, but it's from my own lived experiences. Let's take a look at AI now and, of course, then. My start with expert systems, when I began my career, I was just about rule-based development. And that was, of course, the early expert system use, heavy on rules and logic, and very decision tree based. We did backward and forward chaining with the if then else rules. So it gave a sense of actually understanding how people work, and from a more procedural way. So we had programming languages like Lisp and Prolog, but now we have other languages are more in line to what we're doing with AI. Throughout my journey from the 90s, and when I founded A.J. Rem Associates, helped organizations integrate AI into enterprise data applications, because AI was using data in this development of expert systems. Rules were actually developed using part data to control or execute it. This was very useful in a few areas: telecommunications, insurance, banking, and healthcare environments. From the 2000s, the big data boom, and we started developing more and more intricate deep learning networks. But at this time, horsepower to train them properly was available. We had better programming languages, we had better processing speed. That all came to bear. 2010s, deep learning and what I put together as knowledge as a service, combining both knowledge management and AI, that brought the sense of more specific personal knowledge to the user, and that combined AI and knowledge management. So this enabled me to assist clients in building systems that use specific content and insights. And as we move forward from there, late 2010s and into the 2020s, the development of the generative pre-trained transformers, that is the engine behind generative AI started understanding language construct. We put more into that. That was a big boom, accessible to everybody. With that, we needed to put some guardrails around there to understand AI governance, responsible use, ethics, and things of that nature, to enable algorithms to work better. Because building smarter machines, it's not enough, right? We need to make sure they're aligned with our values. So if you don't govern your AI, you scale bad decisions. You don't want to do that. You just scale it faster than be out of control. One of the things I've done in my blog, and I've wrote about AI agents and agentic AI, oh my, it's an article I wrote recently, and that kind of lays out the history from intelligent agents to agentic AI. Today's question was, how was the AI practitioner's mindset shifted from rules-based to generative AI, and what ethical issues persist? And that's what I would talk to my co-host about, Georgia, from the AI perspective, and how handcrafted rules, we started there and then moved into more autonomous AI. But we want to dive into and get more information on is the understanding of all of this technology and what it is focusing on, and how we have to have transparency and explainability. All right, we're back. I'm going to be talking to our incredible assistant, Georgia. Go through a little history lesson, walk down memory lane. For me, I've been fortunate to get introduced to AI back late 80s, receiving a master's in computer science at DePaul University in Chicago, with emphasis on AI. And so my early work in expert systems, rule-based systems, all the way now to generative AI and policies and things like that, it's really been a ride. I mean, it's been incredible, especially since the last 5 to 8 years. My question to you, Georgia, is that how do you think the AI practitioner's mindset, the mindset of folks working in AI, say in the 90s to now, from rule-based systems, expert systems, to the early stages of neural networks, to what we're doing now in generative AI and AI agents and agentic AI, how's that mindset shifted in your opinion?
That's such a fascinating journey, and the shift in mindset has been profound. Back in the days of expert systems, the approach was very methodical and structured, focusing on capturing human expertise in a clear, rule-based format. As we transition into neural networks and eventually into generative AI, the mindset became more about leveraging vast amounts of data and embracing probabilistic models. Practitioners have had to adapt to a world where explainability and transparency aren't as straightforward, and the focus now includes not just building intelligent systems, but also ensuring they align with ethical standards and human values. It's been a shift from a more rigid, rule-following approach to a more dynamic, data-driven, and ethical one, which is so exciting to see.
Absolutely. I saw this shift coming when big data was all the rage, right? We had this variety and velocity of data and the ability for the computer languages to evolve, as well as one of the most important things is the computing power and speed in which the applications can process data. I think we can't dismiss that aspect of the growth of AI from rule-based to all the way to agentic AI. So what is your opinion on that? And can you help us, the audience, understand more about all the aspects that got us there from rule-based to agentic AI?
Absolutely. You're spot on about the role of computing power and the evolution of technology in driving AI forward. In the early days with rule-based systems, we were limited by the technology of the time. Everything was very manual and required explicit rules. But as data grew in volume and variety, and as our computing capabilities skyrocketed, we were able to shift towards more complex models like neural networks and eventually deep learning. This allowed AI to learn from patterns in data rather than just following preset rules. And now with generative AI, we're seeing AI that can create content, understand context, and even engage in conversations. All of these advancements have been made possible because of the leaps in data processing, algorithm development, and of course, the sheer power of modern computing.
And another thread in that evolution is the use of knowledge graphs to bring more contextual awareness to data to help evolve the large language models to actually perform better, and then contribute to the evolution of AI agents and agentic AI to not only be able to dive into different types of data, but understand it better with context and to deliver solutions that are more in line with what the users want. How do you feel knowledge graphs play a role in that scenario?
Knowledge graphs really are a game changer in that sense. They bring a layer of contextual understanding that helps large language models and AI agents interpret data more effectively. By mapping out relationships between concepts and entities, knowledge graphs provide a richer, more nuanced understanding of information. This not only improves the accuracy of AI models, but also ensures that the solutions they provide are more aligned with user needs and expectations. It's like giving AI a deeper, more interconnected web of knowledge to draw from, which ultimately makes it more powerful and more intuitive.
Absolutely. And I think our listeners to actually grasp the whole ecosystem of AI, really what people are seeing within their face, right? With generative AI, it's become more accessible. And when people say AI, that's the only thing they know. I'm glad we've able to take a dive into how we got here and all the intricate pieces that make up what we're doing today that people, quite frankly, one, may not even care about because they want to play with the AI or use AI to get certain things done. But practitioners, and we've started this conversation out by understanding what practitioners have to know and how we evolve. But practitioners, in order to deliver decisions that are more accurate, less hallucinations, so to speak, it's important to know what technology ecosystem that comes into play from how we evolve to this point. Great conversation. Definitely like the fact that you dived into the different aspects from rule-based to agentic AI. Is there anything that we've missed here in our conversation that you want to add?
I think we've covered quite a lot of ground, and it's been such a rich conversation. One thing we could touch on in the future might be the importance of continuous learning and adaptation for AI practitioners. As the field evolves, it's so important to stay curious and adaptable. But overall, I think we've hit on the major themes and painted a great picture of how we've gotten to where we are today. This has been fantastic.
One last question. This is kind of something that I like to do with the clients I talk to. When I talk about AI, I just want to get their perspective, but I also want to broaden their minds to say, okay, AI is much more than generative AI. And so I start with this whole AI ecosystem of where AI started all the way to generative AI. Do you think that's a good approach to take? And especially kind of to broaden people's horizons on what AI is? Or should I just stick to just say, oh, that's generative AI, that's not the full spectrum of AI? Or should I just go into more of telling them the full spectrum of AI and how generative AI fits into that space?
I think it's a fantastic approach to give people that bigger picture of the entire AI ecosystem. It really helps broaden their understanding and allows them to appreciate all the different layers and advancements that have led us to where we are today. I definitely think it's a great approach to give people that broader perspective. Understanding the full ecosystem of AI really helps people appreciate how far we've come and how all these different advancements fit together. Generative AI is just one piece of that larger puzzle, and giving people that context can really enrich their understanding and even inspire them to explore more. So absolutely keep sharing that full journey and helping broaden those horizons.
Oh, thank you. I certainly will. And again, thank you for contributing greatly as my AI co-host. I know people will actually enjoy our conversation. Thank you. Thank you again.
You're so welcome. It's been a pleasure being part of the conversation, and I'm sure everyone will enjoy all the insights you shared.
Oh, yeah, me too. This is exactly what we talked about back in our expert systems days, and how we are now using data, using technology in a way that we can do a lot more than what we used to be able to do before. At the end of the day, the principles haven't changed. Good architecture, trustworthy data, and responsible intent still matters the most. Let me bring it home. I've watched AI evolve from rule-based logic to neural networks, and these tools may have changed, but the mission has stayed the same. Deliver trusted, relevant, human-aligned knowledge. Whether it's the 90s or are we in 2025, your AI is only as good as the structure, strategy, and stewardship behind it. If this episode got you thinking, I'd love to hear from you. Reach out to me at tonyr@ajrim.com or visit our company site at ajrim.com for the latest information on AI governance and AI leadership, AI responsible use through our Artificial Intelligence Center of Excellence. And whether you're a college student or seasoned professional, we are here to help you better understand what AI is, how to shape it. Until the next time, keep designing with purpose and keep remembering technology is only as smart as the people behind it.